Hey man, this is Chris with PhoneCats. We're doing more Magic on iPad strategy. In this one, we're covering the Garruk green deck with all these insano creatures. I like this way better than the other green deck. Whenever you're in the mood to pick up a new phone or tablet, check out PhoneCats.com. There's some prices for iPad 2s floating around like $300 to $400. Not too shabby. Okay, let's kick this off. Fog. I feel weird opening with this card because this is about a creature deck. And I don't know, it just seems almost counterproductive, but playing with one Fog is just like the trolliest game saver. It's just that one card that is always on the back of my mind. Prey Upon is like the very small amount of creature control in this deck. One green, it's a sorcery, so kind of so-so on the timing, but you choose a creature you have and a creature they have, and they attack each other. Very advantageous when you're getting out those Leatherhead Balrogs or attacking with your huge Slime Worm and then doing that after. Primal Bellow, so clutch. It's like a giant growth that grows exponentially. Not exponentially, but it just grows based on the amount of force you have. Normally using it aggressively, sometimes you can do that super defensive block and make people rage quit though. It's a big surprise. Must include, I think, this Tracker dude is the best. 1 mana for a 1/1, so it's already a solid card, and then he can instigate fights for 2 mana. It's clutch. There's times to where you'll just lock your opponent out and they can't do anything because some of the creatures in this deck are so crazy. Emerald Medallion, 2 mana. It's the usual thing where it lowers your casting cost by 1. From here on out, I guess I'll try to acknowledge if it would even be applicable for the card or not, but there's a lot of high casting cost stuff in this deck, and pay attention to the 4 casting cost ones, because when you play a turn 2 Emerald Medallion or the turn 2 land grab, your turn 3 gets crazy. I'm playing with these Garruk's Companions. They're so solid. 2 mana for a 3/2 with Trample. It slows down some of the 1/1 rush decks, and I don't know, against the blue deck, it's just like 3 damage per turn that they have to deal with, just like this small little clock. I like it. Lightning Greaves. I smile and hold onto my hand when I have Lightning Greaves, even if I have 1 land sometimes. It gives the creature haste, and it can't be targeted by spells or abilities. It gets kind of hectic on your turn sometimes when you're bouncing Lightning Greaves around to squeeze in like enchantments on your creature, and then putting it back on, and I don't know, it's fun. Nature's Lore. This is solid. Turn 2, you grab a forest and put it into play. It even comes into play untapped. So sometimes, I don't know, you're just able to do the Nature's Lore and then still pull off something decent. It's just, it plays well in a fast-paced game. This Primordial Hydra is another one of those one in the deck things that is just crazy. 2 mana, pay X, it comes into play as an XX. That would be good enough as is, kind of, but during your upkeep, you double all +1/+1 counters on it. And I think that will stack with some of the other, here we go. I think that'll stack with Blanchwood Armor. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. And I know I've pulled off a kill in 1 turn playing with that thing. It's crazy. Primordial Hydra is fun. Blanchwood Armor is good on any creature pretty much. You can make anything a threat, even that 1/1 dude. I'm playing with some Cultivates. I'm still kind of skeptical, but on turn 3, you're able to get 2 lands, 1 into play, it's tapped, and then another in your hand. There's just times when I'm mana starved on turn 3 and cast that, or even on turn 4, cast a Cultivate. Okay, Leather Balrog, whatever it's called, 3 mana for a 4/5. I have this card in physical Magic. It's so pro. It's so crazy. When you're playing in a solid green, the solid green casting cost isn't an issue. And then with a couple creatures later on, the 3 solid green casting cost is even a benefit. So hectic. It's so pro. 5 toughness. It can't even be killed by Flameseer and other stuff. Chameleon Colossus is another one in the deck that's so sick. 4 mana for a 4/4. Changeling, don't know if that's good or bad yet. Protection from black, you can pay for it. It gets +X/+X, where it's its power. So if you pay 8, it goes from a 4/4 to a 8/8 to a 16/16. Don't get me going on that. Master of the Wild, 4 mana for a 3/3. Another crazy turn 4 drop, or turn 3 sometimes. During your upkeep, you put a 2/2 wolf into play. You can tap this master dude, and every wolf that's untapped taps and attacks a certain creature. You gotta micro it right, but it's so pro. Timber Maw Larva is another turn 4 drop that's just insano. I don't know why people wouldn't be playing with this. I guess it's kind of easy to shock on your opponent's turn and deal with, but on your turn, when you attack, if you cast out on turn 4, next turn you're attacking with a 7/7. Next turn an 8/8. It's sick. This Primal Crux thing is 6 mana for a star, and its trample and its power and toughness are equal to the number of the green mana symbols. So if you've been playing some leather Balroths or just some other like mainly green casting cost creatures, you drop this on turn 6 or turn 5 if you got some mana acceleration going, and it's crazy. I have this Rampaging Balroth in right now. It's 6 mana for a 6/6 trample, which is good. And then every time you put a land into play, you put a 4/4 beast into play. So many creatures, I'm fine with it. There's a lot of 6 mana for 6/6 tramplers that you need to feel out and test out. Terra Stomper, 6 mana for an 8/8 trample, can't be countered. This just messes with that blue deck. There's so many cards in Duels of the Planeswalker that seem to just be like jacking the blue deck, but that's fine. Can't be countered, has trample. A lot of people control magic this and it pisses me off. Howl of the Night Pack, you can play with 2 of these, and it's so late game, but I play with both. 7 mana, you put that many wolves into play, equal to the amount of forest you control. So crazy, it's just catastrophic. Hopefully your opponent wasn't holding on to that like flame thing or Wrath of God just to take you out. Every deck has something to counter it, so don't get like too giddy. Here's some stuff that I'm not playing with. Brindlebore, 3 mana for a 2/2, sack it, gain 4 life. I don't know, that seems like it should be in the white deck. I dodged all the life gain. I might take out that fog. Okay, this Fangren Firstborn is 4 mana for a 4/2, and I might throw this in. Whenever it attacks, every other creature that's attacking with it gets +1/+1. So it has like that battle cry thing, except instead of it just being +1/+0, it's +1/+1, and it's permanent, and they're +1/+1 counters. So it starts to get in the mix with Primordial Hydra and other stuff. You have the option of playing with 2 Giant Die Tombs, got that old art. God, remember that card? If someone played it, they probably had Moxes or whatever. It's really late game. I mean, obvious card control. Whoa, in that picture it says you don't even have to tap it, but I think you do. I'm not playing with the Wild Heart Invokers. I don't know if I should. It's 4 mana for a 4/3, and then you can pay 8, and any creature gets +5/+5 and trample. Kind of solid. I mean, I don't know. There's so many cards that I am not playing with that are really good. Here's another one, Ant Queen. 5 mana for a 5/5, and you can pay 2 to put a 1/1 insect into play. It's like you can play this deck multiple ways. I guess you can say that with every deck, but you can go like the token style to where you're just pumping out all these bugs because you can play with 2 Ant Queens. And then if you have some of those other things that give +1/+1 counters to all your creatures, I can see the other like late game styles. Bountiful Harvest if you're trying to do that weird life gain angle. 5 mana, it's a sorcery. You gain 1 life for each land you control. So super late game, I don't know, like there's so many cards that just build around putting forest into play, so you can do that crazy 10 life gain. I don't even know if that's good. Garruk's Pack Leader, I am not playing with any of these. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield with 3 or greater, you may draw a card. I don't know. 5 mana for a 4/4. He's not that aggressive, he's not that powerful. He doesn't have trample. It just seems like one of those more like control the game, I'm gonna slow play at things. Incremental Growth, I debate about throwing this in. It's so many more +1/+1 counters. You do 1/+1, 2+1s, and then 3. So it's like the same thing as that Incremental Blight, but opposite, and then similar to Cone of Flame. They're +1/+1 counters too, so you can go crazy with that Hydra. This Stomp Howler is 5 mana for a 4/4, and then when it comes into play, you can destroy target artifact or enchantment. If you're going for that long game control angle, that might be cool. I'm doing just that, get out something dumb big and try to attack fast and overwhelm them before they can deal. 5 mana for this Sorcery, Predatory Rampage. Creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn, and then this odd, each creature your opponent has to block. So if you want to try to do this thing where you take out all their stuff in one turn, I don't know. It's like an overrun, but like an underrun. It's funky, and I'm not playing with it. Sentinel Spider, your minimal amount of air blockers, 5 mana for a 4/4 with Vigilance and Reach. So every turn you can be attacking with it, and it's a solid 4/4 creature. And then you can still block a lot of those pesky flyers. I don't know. I'm not playing with it right now, but if flyers become a crazy issue. Epic Proportions, 6 mana for an enchantment. Ooh, flash, and it's an enchant creature. It gives the creature +5/+5 and trample. So, ooh, during your own attack phase, strategically, bam, +5/+5. So not only is my creature gonna live, but you're gonna deal with some trample damage. Primeval Titan is another one of the 6 mana for a 6/6 tramplers. When it comes into play, you can go through your library and grab 2 forests and put them in the battlefield tapped. And then you can do that also whenever it attacks. So it's kind of like that, the red version, but instead of dealing 3 damage, it's doing land grabs. I don't know. Boundless Realms, what is even going on? 7 mana, go through your whole library and grab all your forests. Grab all your forests for each forest you have in play. And then put them into play. Like, who's playing this? I don't know, maybe in like the Planeswalker game, or if you're playing versus other people, but I exclusively play 1v1s, so it's kind of weird. Kalani Hydra, Mother of Hydras, is a billion green mana, but for each creature you have in control, it costs 1 less green to cast. So I don't know, if you've been playing these clutch creatures every turn, you might be able to squeeze that out early, but I'm not playing with it. Thanks for watching, PhoneCats.